To Washington now, where as we check the time, and it's approaching, quarter after 6 on this Monday evening, and nope, still no new House Speaker in place for Republicans. Inside the caucus, all eyes remain firmly focused on Ways and Means Committee Chairman Paul Ryan, the party's 2012 VP nominee, to see if he wants the job or what promises he might need from his fellow Republicans to become Speaker. Ryan is the only Republican getting any serious buzz in the Speaker's race right now, which means John Boehner keeps the seat just a little while longer. Boehner has said he'll stay on until a new Speaker is chosen, which at this rate could be all the way until January 2017, so stay tuned. What we are hearing more and more of is the backstory behind the decision of Boehner's number 2, Kevin McCarthy, to take his name out of consideration for the Speaker's job. Yes, there were rumors of an affair or a possible affair that McCarthy may or may not have been having. But whatever the rationale, the GOP's far-right members, known these days as the Freedom Caucus, they don't want him. That same group is also seeking to weaken the power of the Speaker, whomever it is. They want more power in the hands of committee chair people and a reduced role for the Speaker in picking those chairs. But what the Freedom Caucus really wants is a more ideologically driven Speaker, one who seeks compromise less often in support of conservative ideology. And among the analyses railing against that ideological purity test, if you will, are these two from the Huffington Post, written by, of all people, one Richard Brodsky. So,
Wrong.
Richard.
Wrong.
Thank you.
It's not about
Ladies
ideology.
and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight.
It's not about ideology. House Republicans are in lockstep on economic policy, tax cuts for the rich, on
So where's the split?
It's about tactics. It's about whether you're going to shut down the government, whether you're fighting hard enough, whether you're compromising too often. Now, that's not ideology. That's not issues.
Well, it's whether you enact or whether all of your decisions are based on the ideology as opposed to the compromises needed to keep the government functioning.
Right. But if you ask them what their ideological views are, if you put bills out just to be voted on in the House, they'd vote in lockstep. It's not about ideas. It's about tactics. And it's about wrecking. If you're really hostile to the government, if you really think the long-term interest of the country is taking the size of the federal government down by half, you got to wreck it, not just sort of shave it.
So the only Speaker that group of 40, that Freedom Caucus, would be interested in is somebody who's not willing to compromise and is willing to stick to those ideological lines.
Right, to the extent they don't finally push their colleagues into a deal with the Democrats. Now, there are history examples of cross-party picking of speakers. In New York, when the Democrats in the 60s in the Assembly showed a little strength, Governor Rockefeller, a Republican, reached in and brought Republicans and one faction of the Democrats to elect a guy named Tony Travia. And he became the Speaker with Republican votes. The trick the Freedom Caucus has to do is to push hard enough, but not too hard.
It is about ideas to a degree, and the idea is philosophically cut government. That's their idea. Their idea, Brodsky's point, taking a wrecking ball of government and just destroying it. That's what they honestly believe. And so, I mean, I don't know. I on a personal level, I just hope that this Freedom Caucus, that their 15 minutes of fame is over.
We've been saying that for 5 years, and that hasn't.
The people who are to blame for this are not the Freedom Caucus. It's the moderate, if there are any, Republicans like Peter King of New York and people like that who have let them, the tiny fractional faction, run the place as though they owned it.
And then they got too much power.
They got rid of a speaker.
There's another self-serving part to this objection by the Freedom Caucus, and it was in the explanation too, which is how they assign committee chair people, who runs how basically leadership is organized. And right now it's organized by length of service, and then it's picked by House leadership. Who gets to be the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee? Who gets to be the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee? They want to blow that up too. They're
in good company. This notion of democratizing a legislative body, of letting the members have control, that's the position of the New York Times. At least as it used to be applied to Albany, where the members were accused of being sheep and we had to empower the members and all that.
But don't you want a certain amount of longevity determining who gets these positions? Because the people who have done this the longest know the way the House
You're
works.
asking me?
I am.
You got. Let me see if I understand this. They want term limits, a weak speaker, and they want the committee chairs to have power. We might as well be in Saudi Arabia or Moscow and call it the Duma. It doesn't work that way. Where you have a powerful executive branch, as America does, you need a powerful legislative response.
So is this about ideological, not purity because you don't like that term, but sticking to the ideology and not compromising, or is this about these 40 relatively junior members of the House who want more power when it comes to the positions that they have?
Same thing. So it's exactly the same thing. It's both. Say something.
I put it another. I'm trying not
Come on,
to.
Richard is right.
No, I'm not going to say that anymore tonight. That's out of the question.
right.
He is right. But I prefer to, and this is unfair. I look at it as a bunch of nuts that are now in Congress.
They're not nuts.
Yes, you are nuts because everyone that goes to Washington knows the art of the deal. No matter what your
Apparently
politics
you're wrong.
are. No,
Apparently, there is a significant part of the Republican Party that doesn't believe in the art of the deal.
Tea Party crowd came along with that nonsense. These clowns got elected.
But everybody's
affected
yielded
the
to it.
presidential race. They're wreckers. They want to stop things. They have a reason they want to do that. They believe somehow the country would be better off that way. But these are not.
I wonder why they want to stop it now.
Crazy.
And I'm just throwing it out there. I wonder why they want to stop government right now. I wonder why.
2 years ago, it worked the same way with the
No,
government
he's going to
shutdown.
say it has something to do with African Americans, Latinos.
Really?
I don't know what he's going to say.
Is that
but
what
I know
I'm going
the
to
subject
say?
matter.
Is that what I'm going to say?
What do you mean?
Could it have something to
African
do?
American community is a diminishing percentage of the country.
Could it have something to do with the fact that an African American is in the White House, and they want to stop him?
You don't think
by
they do the
all
same thing with
means?
Hillary Clinton if Hillary Clinton's the next
That's
president?
No, I think Hillary Clinton would outsmart them at their own game.
And Obama can't?
But
Ooh, if I was to say that, I'd be carried up by the thought police on a stretcher.
I want to ask before we lose time.
It's a good thing that you didn't say it. But
Before we lose time in the segment.
Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Does Paul Ryan wind up as the Speaker of the House?
That's a good question because what was the selling point on Obama? I put it to both of you. What was the selling point?
It was that he could bring
Change.
both sides together.
Change.
No red
No.
state,
and
no
that
blue
he
state.
had no. Let's be honest. That he had no record. That he had no record where you could hang it around his neck.
Okay.
Obama. That was one of the major selling points.
Paul Ryan's got a record.
Right, but why would Paul Ryan take this when, as Speaker, you're going to now have a record that they could throw around your neck, and there
So you're
goes
saying
running for president?
It hurts a presidential bid if he wants
But
one in the
but
future.
it does so not because he has a record, because he has to govern those crazy people.
Right.
And there, he's either going to have to shut the government down and ruin his career, or disappoint the crazy people and ruin his career.
Yes or no? Is he the next Speaker of the House?
Yes.
A yes or no question. It's politicians hate yes or no questions, even former politicians. Okay.
No.
He'd
Up
be
next-
crazy to take it.
Yeah, it'd be crazy to take it.
Up next, some New York stories. The feud over MTA funding between Andrew Cuomo and Bill de Blasio is finally over. But did the mayor cave in and give the governor yet another victory? And then the debate over Airbnb. Should the Big Apple legalize the popular short-term rental service? Jersey City's going to try to rake in some big bucks doing just that. So why doesn't New York City do the same thing?